The 2-3 Phoenix Suns, the 4-2 Golden State Warriors. Here from the America West Arena, Tom Leander back with Jaws, Eddie Johnson. Hope you enjoyed that entertaining open. Alley-oops and Iche with the dress code. Doesn't get much better than that. Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Discount Tire Company. Visit Discount Tire Company on the web by logging on to discounttire.com. Discount Tire, low prices, more choices, the best brands. And this starting lineup for Golden State, dating back to last season, has gone 17-4. Barron and Jay Rich in the backcourt, Dunleavy and Troy Murphy the forwards, O'Donnell Foyle in the middle for head coach Mike Montgomery, now in his second season out of Stanford University. Started with a bit of a structured system last year in his rookie season as coach, and then opened it up when the Warriors acquired one Baron Davis. Starting lineup now for the Phoenix Suns. Leandro Barbosa getting the start in the backcourt along with Steve Nash's mentor, Sean Marion, Rajabel the forward. Sean sat out practice yesterday with a foot ailment, had his right shoe off his foot the entire practice, but good to go tonight. Kurt Thomas, the starting center for head coach Mike D'Antoni. And this will now be his third shot at career win number 100. And after that disappointing loss to the Detroit Pistons, where they went toe-to-toe with Detroit for 46 minutes and 10 seconds, Mike D'Antoni said, we're almost there. We just don't have Amari Stoudemire to clean up at this point. AutoZone matchup before the start of this one, Suns and Warriors, and let's go ahead and throw LB in there. He'll be matched up against Jason Richardson.
We're talking about two guys with speed and athletic ability that's second to none probably on the court tonight. Leandro has earned his opportunity in the lineup with his production over the last two basketball games. And he goes against Jason Richardson, who can flat out score and elevate himself above the rim as well. He has been the Golden State Warriors leader so far this year on the offensive end. Leandro's going to have his work cut out for him on the other end.
Officials tonight, Monty McCutcheon, Leroy Richardson, and Gary Zielinski. This Warriors team got in at 2 o'clock this morning following a battle last night with the New York Knicks, a battle won by this Golden State team. They win it by 2. Larry Brown now 0 for New York, 0-5 with the Knicks. Baron Davis had the strip in the final seconds of Jamal Crawford as the Knicks went for the tie in overtime. But alas, Mike Montgomery and Golden State with their 4th win of the season.
What impressed me more, not just them winning the game, but how they won it. New York made big shots to get a 1-point lead, and they came back and they continued to make shots as well. Troy Murphy and Jason Richardson and Baron Davis, they played an excellent basketball game, and they're too young, Tom, to worry about them being tired.
Up and away from the AWA, O'Donnell Foyle, and the Warriors winning the tip. It was Foyle who had the go-ahead basket in that final minute against the New York Knicks as they hung on to win. And it's Jason Richardson backing down now on Raja Bell. Pump fake, stripped by Raja. Under 5 on the shot clock now for Baron Davis. He'll let it fly past Kurt Thomas, all net for Baron Davis. That's a 2.
That is an example why Golden State will be tough all year long, because Baron Davis can bail them out with 4 or 5 seconds on the clock. He's able to create his shot anywhere on the floor.
Barbosa getting the start, lets it fly, and Leandro knocks it down. Tied up at 2.
The key element in Barbosa's game so far is patience and change of speed. He is not just running like a chicken with his head cut off. I mean, he is really being very strategic out there on the floor, and is paying off.
Defensively now on Dunleavy, does his job and comes away with the rebound. In practice yesterday, you can see the brimming confidence of Barbosa. He hit just about everything he put up in practice yesterday. Thomas unable to finish there for Phoenix, and back comes Baron Davis.
Expect this game to be up and down, and that's why the Suns have to get high percentage shots in the paint. Golden State right now, they have more outside shooters on the court than the Suns. Suns have to get inside, get easy ones.
Steal by Leandro Barbosa. Here comes the Brazilian blur. Kick it out to Nash, and now it's Raja wide open. And that's a 2-ball for Raja Bell. He has been shooting the ball with great accuracy, but Eddie, he's really only averaging 9 field goal attempts per game. They need more shots for Raja.
You know, he's not used to putting up a lot of shots. Sometimes it gets used to saying, you know what, I can continue to shoot it regardless whether I miss 2 or 3 in a row. And I think he's battling himself. He just has to put it up.
More of a slow tempo attack so far by Golden State. They're coming off a couple of grinders, a couple of games in the mid-80s against the Chicago Bulls and New York Knicks. Really haven't found that offensive flow they displayed at the end of last season. Three-ball corner pocket. Raja Bell in the zone with AutoZone. $100 to Phoenix Suns Charities, courtesy AutoZone and Raja Bell.
Well, in the 3 games the Suns have lost here, they've come out and shot the ball well early. I think everyone is waiting to see what happens in the fourth quarter. But the Suns have shown the ability to get out and gain control of the basketball game early on.
Mike D'Antoni wary of a barrage of 3-pointers by this Golden State team. Richardson off the mark. Here comes Marion. To his left, his wingman is Nash. He'll set up Raja. Wants another 3. Give it to him. Absolutely. In the zone with AutoZone. Another $100 to Phoenix Suns Charities. Back-to-back big shots by Bell. Timeout, Mike Montgomery and the Warriors. It's a 10-2 start for the Suns.
And Tom, people don't understand Steve Nash meant to get the basketball to Raja Bell. That's what makes Steve Nash the MVP. He understands how to continue to give the hot hand an opportunity. Raja Bell has gotten it, and he has knocked them down.
Suns on a 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes, 30 seconds here in the first quarter over the Warriors, and it has been Raja Bell, the Suns' shooting star here in the first quarter.
Raja Bell night. That's what it's been so far. But he's spotted up, and he's gotten the ball in good rhythm, and he's gotten into a good stroke right there from the outside, and he is knocking them down. Excellent pass by Steve Nash, and then the patience of Raja knowing he's feeling good, knocks it down.
At the other end, the Warriors start out just 1 of 5 shooting, and Eddie, they have struggled shooting here in the early going. Despite their 4-2 record, Mike Dunleavy shooting just 26% from the field. Baron Davis 35% from the field. Another miss there by Baron Davis, and the defensive rebounder Kurt Thomas. Keep an eye on the rebounding numbers for the Suns here tonight, because they have been hammered in that department after their first 5 games of the season. Nash all net, and the Suns lead by 10.
Well, the Suns right now are getting anything they want from the Golden State Warriors. They're having a tough time defensively, not only getting back in transition, but against the half-court offense as well.
Jason Richardson and the Warriors looking for some offense. The neutralizer there, Raja Bell, who did such a tremendous job defensively on Rip Hamilton until the final 3 or 4 minutes of that fourth quarter against Detroit, when he had to run off of normally 3 picks per set. I mean, he was utilizing so much energy trying to keep up with Rip Hamilton, one of the best at moving without the basketball.
I've always said that you can be a great defender and you can have great defense. But if you run a perfect offense, you can be successful. And that's what Detroit did late in the game. I mean, they ran their plays true to form and got the ball into their best hands, Richard Hamilton.
You're right. He was running off of 3 screens, back-to-back possessions, hit both jumpers. And Detroit looks so solid this season, starting out 6-0, the only unbeaten team, though struggled a bit last night to win in Portland. Baron Davis denied by Kurt Thomas, but he's busted for the personal. The Suns start out 5 of 7 shooting from the field, a blistering 71%.
Steve really got his hand caught in the cookie jar there. He was in no man's land. I don't know if you can leave Baron Davis. You know, if Mike Dunleavy wants to post up, let him go ahead. Because Baron Davis is the guy. The Suns have to keep under control. He normally likes to come out early and find his teammates. You don't want him to get into a good offensive rhythm, because then he would be very difficult to stop.
And he has just ended the Suns' 12-0 run. 1 of 2 at the line. This Warriors team shoots just 63% from the free throw stripe. That is abysmal. Marion blasting in for the easy 2. Chris Taft has checked in for this Golden State team. Number 21, a 6'10" rookie out of the University of Pittsburgh. A couple years ago, a lot of people thought he was going to be a lottery pick, but he wound up going in the 2nd round of this Golden State team this past summer. Troy Murphy out of Notre Dame, straight and sweep from the outside. He has range.
And Sean has to stay with him. He showed last night in the Knick game, if you leave him, he will knock it down from 3 with ease.
Murphy, one of the few Warriors shooting well here in their first 6 games of the season. Nash switched over on by Taft. Thomas touch pass Barbosa behind the line. Absolutely! For Leandro Barbosa in the zone with AutoZone. Another $100 to Suns Charities. third three-pointer, 2 by Raja, and that one by the Brazilian Blur.
You know, and so far this year, Leandro's fit in the mold of most young players. That third year is normally the year that you break out, and Leandro's confidence as Barron knocks it down has just grown totally.
Baron Davis answers with his three, another three from the corner. Rajabel, no, the foot was on the line. A two-pointer for Rajabel, who's a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. He's already in double figures with 10.
But you know, Tom, I like the fact that he was on the line because he was in the comfort zone. A lot of players try to look down and back up, and then they wind up missing the shot.
Thomas slaps it away out of bounds. Mike D'Antoni looking for that starting lineup that would give him some juice right off the bat. And I think he may have found it here with Leandro Barbosa in the backcourt with Nash, Kurt Thomas, Rajabel, and Sean Marion there, putting Murphy in denial and coming away with the basketball is Sean Marion. Rajabel, open momentarily, puts it on the floor. Oh, tissue sock by Rajabel, who's now 5 of 5 from the field.
Well, and Steve is going to keep finding, and Raja better get used. You know, at the timeouts, get your elbow rubbed down, because if you keep shooting the ball that way, you better keep putting it up.
And he better put up more than the 9 field goal attempts he's averaging this season. Baron Davis, head-on collision with Steve Nash, who's hit with a personal foul. Nash cannot believe it.
And again, a tough guard for Steve, because Baron Davis is probably about 220 as a point guard. I mean, this guy's big. And so once he puts his head down, he gets to spinning. It's very difficult to stop him. What Steve did, he turned sideways. And when you do, the officials, more times than any, will give the play to the offensive player.
Boy, back-to-back ball games for Steve Nash. First it was Chauncey Billups, one of the strongest point guards of the Pistons, and then he runs right into Baron Davis in his next contest. Out comes Kurt Thomas, here comes Boris Diaw.
Well, Mike D'Antoni going to the bench early and maybe trying to keep the rhythm in. Leandro goes out, and you know, the speed factor for the Suns should come into play because Golden State did play a tough game last night. I think Mike D'Antoni's trying to wear them down early.
So James Jones comes in as well, along with Boris Diaw. Under 6 to play here, first quarter. Boris kick it out to Raja. Now it's Nash into the lane, hangs, finds Marion off the window.
Excellent play by Sean Marion, and that's why, you know, Sean would rather have plays ran to him, but Sean moves so well without the basketball and ad-libbing in the offense. He always get good rhythm. Get good rhythm.
Offensive foul, Chris Taft of the Golden State Warriors. Steve Nash already here in the quarter, 5:35 to play. He has 6 assists, and the Suns are up by 14.
Steve really doing something you shouldn't do, and that's jump in the air. But again, Sean Marion always finds an angle to get into the vision.
And now it's Boris Diaw. They get it to Nash in the corner, too strong, and rebounded by Dunleavy. Suns now 10 of 13 shooting. That's still 77% finger roll, but no. Offensive foul, Mikael Pietrus. In off the Golden State bench, Pietrus, who was a teammate with Boris Diaw on the French national team, hit with the offensive charge. Had a chance to visit with Pietrus, who was shooting around for about 45 minutes before this game, and he has really improved his touch from the outside. And he and Boris have been playing together for that French team since Pietrus was 16 years of age. They know each other very well. Marion driving on Baron Davis. It's Nash from outside and ripped away by Troy Murphy. Murphy is really to the Warriors what Sean Marion has been to the Suns, a walking double-double. This guy will give you the 17 points, 10 rebounds on any given night. Pietrus on the move. His pass deflected by the Matrix. And there's 8 on the shot clock now for Golden State.
The Warriors have no low post game. And so the Suns should be at ease knowing that they don't have to double down. They don't have to worry about anything. Just play each player straight up and stay in front of them.
Nash will try to stay in front of Baron Davis, one of the most talented point guard combinations you'll see in an NBA contest. On the run out, here comes Rajabel, trying to beat Jason Richardson to the ball and then kicks it out of bounds. Golden State possession with 4.5 to play here in the quarter.
Hustle almost got Rajabel an easy layup, and young players looking at that, you never give up on an opportunity. He almost got to the basketball.
Golden State has won the last 4 matchups with the Suns if you include the preseason. They played the Suns twice in the preseason, won both of those, and they won the last 2 regular season meetings from last season. Richardson straight but short. Murphy over the top of Raja Bell, who is smacked on top of the head. Left-handed hook all alone inside for the follow, Mikael Petrus. Suns sleeping on the defensive boards.
Well, we know Golden State has had their way against the Suns on offensive glass in the last few years. So the Suns, although dominating and not missing shots right now, they have to understand that if they continue this, that means Golden State's going to get real hungry on that offensive glass. They have to continue to block out.
Sean Marion with the running right-hander. He's now a perfect 3 of 3 from the field. Raja 5 of 5. Barbosa has hit both of his shots. He's on the Suns bench. Marion trying to burglarize Petrus, but comes away with the personal foul. Suns up 14, and into the lineup for Golden State comes the veteran Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher has been huge for them so far this year. He's hit big shots. He's shooting 58% from behind the three-point line. So the Suns really have to pay attention to him. He can change the game around in a hurry.
And keep an eye, too, on Derek Fisher. He really has become one of the league leaders in flops as well. Suns coaching staff loves to talk about that. He and Reggie Evans of Seattle, along with, of course, Manu Ginobili. Very theatrical out there. But being 31 years of age and the experience with the Lakers, he gets many of those calls. Nash, right past Dunleavy to the cup.
He tricked him. That's what he did. He rocked him to sleep and then went right around him. Are you saying Derek Fisher, he fakes a lot?
Well, you be the judge. Let's just watch here tonight. He's usually good for 2 or 3 of those a night. Double team help from Boris Diaw. They get it now into the corner for Petrus. And the practice did not quite pay off there, but a hold down low on Raja Bell of the Suns trying to box out Troy Murphy. And we have a timeout. 2:59 to go. Steve Nash taking it right down Jefferson Street.
Taking
Mr. Johnson.
advantage of the long-armed Mike Dunleavy and just goes right up under his arm, then jogs back down.
Suns leading by 16 here in the opening quarter. The Phoenix Suns are teaming up with the Arizona Department of Health Services to encourage you to quit smoking. If you quit smoking or have ever quit smoking, you could win a pair of tickets to the Suns-Utah Jazz game November 18th. Go to Suns.com, tell us why you are now tobacco-free, and enter to win. The Suns and ADHS encourages you to inhale life and be tobacco-free. Time to check our Quest stat of the game presented by Quest. Spirit of service. The Suns 3 of 4 from far away here in the quarter.
Yeah, but getting good looks. They have gotten good looks all game long, and credit their defensive rebounding for the key. I mean, they've taken advantage, obviously, of a tired Golden State Warrior team, which I find a hard time believing these young guys are tired after a big win last night, but Suns have really taken advantage of it.
Eddie, no doubt about it. Missed opportunities by the Suns here at home this season. 0-3 so far to start the season here at the America West Arena, but now in their 4th game here at home, they have built a double-digit lead in every single home game.
They have, and Tom, you know, those 3 losses, I just tell people, forget about it, because I tell you what, I mean, a minute, they'll be 5-0. I mean, they basically lost 3 games in a minute. And so you don't worry about it. Keep playing hard. Things will work themselves out. And before it's over, they'll be forgotten about the 3 games they lost early on in the year.
How about the energy and the hustle there by Barbosa and Boris Diaw on the offensive glass. Diaw finishes it with the reversal. And the Suns lead is back to 16. Inside, slapped away. Sean Marion would have none of that from Troy Murphy. Barbosa, circus shot, under pressure, and now on the run out, all alone, Troy Murphy. If he can corral it, blows the layup, but beefs up his rebounding total.
I guarantee if you check his contract, he's got a clause.
Incentives.
Yeah, of course.
I think he signed that big extension before last season. You know, both he and Jason Richardson signed their extensions last season and then struggled mightily early in the season, much like what's happening to Mike Dunleavy. He signed his contract extension and his offense has been non-existent for this Golden State team. And Mike Montgomery, his head coach, said, you know what, no question about it, he's pressing after signing a lucrative deal. Petrus, his pass tipped out of bounds off of the hand of Sean Marion. 13 on the shot clock. Here comes the howitzer, Eddie House. First house call by Suns head coach Mike D'Antoni, and Calvert Chaney checks in for the Golden State Warriors. Out goes Mike Dunleavy, 0 of 2 from the field. 1 rebound, no assists, and no points for Dunleavy.
And what Sean has to worry about with Cheney is he's not taking 3-point shots. He stays around the 20-foot mark, and he's proficient.
Muscle move inside by Davis, who wanted a call, didn't get it. Here comes Boris Diao behind the back. Nifty pass to Barbosa, but he can't finish. Here's Marion, offensive glass, bucket and one for Sean Marion.
I think the Suns have came out tonight to prove a point. I mean, you think about it. This is a team that won 62 games last year, got to the Western Conference Finals, and pretty much dominated everyone during the regular season, and they've lost their first 3 games and won 2 on the road. And as a player, you step out and you hustle and you work and you say, you know what, we're tired of this. And I think this team has come out in this game and they are showing why they are a very good basketball team.
Sean cannot polish off the 3-point play. Again, talked about him missing practice yesterday. I asked Mike D'Antoni about Marion's status before this game. He said, you know what, he's not really worried because Sean heard that yesterday was Veterans Day, so he thought that veterans had the day off.
Well,
he had to kind of explain to him that, no, Sean, I thought that was one of Mike D'Antoni's better lines.
Well, you know what, and a player probably thought of saying that, trust me. You know, in my career, players thought of all types of reasons to miss practice. One of the best ever was Moses Malone. I mean, he would act like he got hurt the last minute of a game. So he knew he would have to miss practice the next day.
I thought maybe so he'd shower up and get out of the parking lot before everybody else. That too. Not to say that Sean was not injured. Of course, I know that foot was bothering him because he had his shoe off the entire time. And Mike D'Antoni ran them through a pretty light practice, you know, and that's one of the attributes of Mike D'Antoni, not one to hit the panic button. You know, some of the other more intense NBA head coaches, I won't name names, they would have put their players through a 4-hour workout.
You're right.
Instead, Mike very positive after watching the tape of the game too. Said he was really ticked off when he went home after the loss to Detroit, but then he watched the game tape and said, hey, we played those guys. We were toe-to-toe with them for most of the game. Inside follow by Golden State, and they are trying to pull back now down 13.
And should have won the game. So you can't worry about a loss like that. I mean, give them credit. I mean, they made big shot after big shot late in the game.
Barbosa, hesitation move on Žarko Čebarkova to draw the foul. Tonight's game brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Nice move there by Barbosa. And Mike D'Antoni said, Eddie, that, you know, without Amari Stoudemire, they don't have that player to suck in the defense. And that's what he's hoping to get now from Leandro Barbosa. Can you believe that? Going into training camp, Suns didn't have high expectations for Barbosa, Boris Diaw. Now he's hoping that Barbosa could somehow fill the role that was held by Amari.
Well, the expectations weren't high, but the hope was there because you see the talent, and it's up to the player. It's never up to anyone else. But this game is funny. I mean, players reach their peak at different times of their career, and I've always looked the third year as a key year for any young player, and I truly expected Leandro to come out and play like he's been playing so far.
And so far has 7 points here as the starting 2-guard for the Suns, also with 3 rebounds for Phoenix. Čebarkova, the former #1 pick of the Suns, a little 2-man game with Petrus going against his French teammate Diaw. The ball is tipped out of bounds and Golden State will have it.
Everything right now for the Warriors, because they're laboring and probably a little tired as well, is one-on-one. I mean, their offense is just gone right now. They're basically just catching the basketball and trying to do it on their own.
In and out by Petrus, and now the Suns can go for the final shot. Barbosa looks up, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, here comes the blur! Oh, and he beats the buzzer! 0.2 remaining, and that'll do it! Done with 1, and an explosive opening quarter for the Phoenix Suns. Barbosa now with 9 points here in the quarter. He gets a high five from Raja Bell, who had a dozen 5 of 5 shooting. Suns looking sharp, leading 35-18. You're watching Phoenix Suns basketball on UPN 45. Pressure in the backcourt by Golden State, streaking forward Boris Diaw. Golden State shot just 25% from the field in that opening quarter, 6 of 24. The Suns at a 60% clip, capped off by Barbosa's drive to end the period. Finds James Jones going deep for three. Absolutely for James Jones. In the zone with AutoZone. Another $100 to Phoenix Suns Charities. And the Suns are now 4 of 7 shooting from behind the line.
Defense worried about Leandro because he's been playing so well. Gave him an opportunity to get the ball to James Jones in rhythm.
Pushing foul there as there is a battle brewing between Barbosa and Derek Fisher. Eddie, take us through that final play of the period and Leandro Barbosa.
You know, Leandro finally learning how to use his speed and quickness. He is probably the fastest player in the league with the basketball in his hand going full. He's impossible to guard when he changes pace, and he's done an excellent job this year of doing that.
Strong move to the hoop. Wouldn't drop, though, for Petrus, and here come the Suns. Barbosa out there along with Marion, Diaw, James Jones, and Eddie House, the ultra-small lineup for Phoenix. Fisher on the floor along with Aaron Miles in the backcourt, a rookie out of Kansas, undrafted, who finished his collegiate career 8th all-time in the NCAA history in assists. And there is Aaron Miles now, checked and shadowed by Barbosa. Miles leading Kansas as their all-time leading assist performer. And from the outside, it's Calvert Chaney, the one-time star at Indiana.
He's the one guy on the floor that if you give him a good look, he's going to knock it down. I mean, this guy shoots a high percentage every time he's on the floor.
I can't think of a better shooter in the NBA who has played in obscurity like Calvert Chaney.
Well, when you depend on your teammates to get you opportunities, and that's why. He's not a guy that's going to create his own shot. He just plays into the rhythm.
A flying finish by James Jones on the offensive basket. And the Suns' lead is now 20, doubling up on the Golden State Warriors. Eddie, the Suns needed a rout, needed a convincing win, and it is still early, but there are a lot of stormers on this Phoenix Suns team. Stormers, as in players that storm out of the locker room after a loss. They need a confidence boost.
Well, they do, but I think the fans, too, are sitting there saying, you know what, we've seen 2 17-point leads and 1 11-point lead as well, and the Suns have to understand they have to continue to play hard, especially against a team like Golden State who can catch fire in a hurry.
No question about it, though. Frustration level very high in the Suns locker room after that loss to the Pistons. And even following practice yesterday, guys like Raja Bell didn't really want to speak to the media. And Raja, one of the more affable players in the league, but losing does not sit well. And that is obviously a very good sign for the Suns and their fans. Eddie House blasting in for 2 more.
You know, it doesn't sit well, but don't get out of the rhythm. What you would do if you had won 3 in a row. And so you have to continue to be humble. You have to continue to make yourself accessible because when things go well, you're going to want that attention.
Right. Yeah. But guys like Raja Bell come in here playing for a team that won 62 games. They feel even more pressure, I'm sure, coming into a new team that had been so successful last year, and they're part of a squad that's 2 and 3. So that is another reason why the frustration level would be very high for a guy like Raja.
Well, true. I mean, they do feel pressure, but they also have to understand, and no one makes excuses for professional players because regardless who goes down with injury, you still have to go play the game. But let's face facts. I mean, you know, the 3 games the Suns lose, they lose them in the last 2 minutes because they didn't create shots. They had a difficult time staying within their offense. Well, if you put number 32 on the floor, it's a different story. And so the battle for the Suns up until Amari comes back, or if he does, is to try to find someone to be a go-to guy to step up when they need big shots. And it's hard for Steve to do it when he is the facilitator.
Yep. And in talking to Amari Stoudemire yesterday during his rehab session here at the America West Arena, that was the one thing he said. Right now, he's just focused on trying to heal and come back 110%. But he said he's really feeling it for Steve Nash. He hates to see Steve take so much responsibility and so much pressure being laid upon Steve at the end of games.
Well, it's hurt him. I think it's shown in Steve's field goal percentage early this year, around 40%. You know he's going to shoot 50 before it's over, but that has gave him problems.
Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday night from downtown Phoenix. Suns up by 18 here in the second quarter, and now you have 25 million reasons to play Powerball. Tonight's jackpot, an estimated $25 million. Get your tickets today, and don't forget to check for the winning numbers at ArizonaLottery.com. Now it's time for tonight's Powerball Power Play, and it's Leandro Barbosa.
Well, the energy of Leandro, the up fake, let the defender run by, then the quick hands inside. he has just been so active. And then the rotation of the basketball, get it to the hot shooter. That's Leandro.
Leandro and Raja Bell have been the hot shooters for the Suns here in the first half. Sean Marion hasn't been half bad, and down it goes for the Matrix, who is now 5 of 6 from the field.
You know, Sean had to play a lot of power forward last year, and I think what's happened because he had to bang so much, I mean, he plays a lot stronger. I mean, you know, it was more finesse until last year where he had to bang with a lot of guys, and you can tell that Sean has really improved his strength, and guys seem to bounce off of him now. You know, his smartness of being around as long as he has, and just being able to get his shot off in traffic. I mean, he is just showing so much consistency.
You and I sat and watched that game here at home against the Dallas Mavericks. He went up for a slam dunk that he really had no chance of finishing. He was so far away from the hoop, but you love the fact that he's taken it so strong to the basket. You said a couple years ago he would have tried to lay that in or maybe put in a floater, so you are seeing a more aggressive attitude from Marion.
Well, I think if you watch Boris Diaw when he attacks the rim, that's a lot of how Sean Marion used to. And so what Boris needs to do is just hang around Sean and let Sean tell him you can evolve and you can learn to maybe be more productive in the paint. And I think that's the next step for Boris Diaw is to be able to take it strong and finish over guys, and that will really keep him in rhythm.
Hold on the floor on James Jones. Hey, this is a very interesting lineup by the Golden State Warriors, a team that is trailing by 20 points. They have Baron Davis out there along with Fisher, Petrus, Chabarkaba, and Chaney. And Mike Montgomery is searching for combinations here. His leading scorer, Jason Richardson, is 0 of 5 from the field. Has got nothing from him or Dunleavy.
Again, this team can run off 12 in a row in a hurry. And the challenge for Mike Montgomery is to find a rotation, as you just stated, and the Suns just have to be careful and not get full of themselves because this team can get hot.
I think they will be content to let Mikael Petrus shoot threes the entire night. Boris Diaw hands it off to James Jones, straight but strong. Diaw on the offensive glass. Still trying to keep it alive, and finally ripping it out of the crowd is Chaney.
And see, that's what I mean with Boris. Excellent job getting the rebound, but then going up a little soft. And when you depend on going soft like that, especially in traffic, you might blow a lot of opportunities.
Direct hit by Chaney, and now the lead is back to 18 for Phoenix. Swinging around the perimeter, the ball movement by the Suns results in a J by Marion. Pops out, and here comes Baron Davis. Again, a much more methodical Warriors team, and Baron Davis now takes it strong to the hoop, but this is not the same Warriors team we saw at the end of last season.
No, not at all. They've made some changes, and they go small, but Ike Diago, their rookie, is going to give them bulk inside as well. He might be the low post guy that they're missing right now, but they have just a multitude of basketball players, and the key for them is to make sure they find the hot hand and stay in good rhythm. And that's what they've done so far this year.
Ike Diago taken 9th overall in the first round by this Golden State Warriors team, the highest Sun Devil taken since Byron Scott. Ike Diago fractured his left hand during training camp and has not seen NBA action as of yet for this Golden State Warriors team.
Well, you know, but he's gaining experience by sitting over there watching, and I think he understands this team needs an inside presence, and once he does come back, he's going to get a chance to play.
Pac-10 Player of the Year last season, 3 seasons at ASU for Diago. Nearing the 7-minute mark here of the second quarter. Nash looking to dissect the defense. Diaw going after the offensive rebound, puts his shoulder down, and now it's James Jones on the move. Nash lines it up from far away, and another board for Chaney. Lob pass, Jason Richardson, and it's a beauty. The alley-oop from Derek Fisher to the high-flying Jason Richardson.
Well, the Warriors now at 15. Their goal is to get it around the 12, 11-point mark by the end of the quarter, and that's why the Suns have to be careful here.
And that's the type of hoop that could spark a team, much like the follow dunk by Ben Wallace against the Suns in their last game here at the arena. Coming up with a loose ball, Diaw, no look, here comes Marion, cleared for takeoff. Boris Diaw with the beautiful assist feed up ahead to Marion, and the lead is back to 17. Fisher drawing the foul. on Boris Diaw.
Well, this pass to Jason Richardson came from outside the half-court line and was able to get up and in. And then Boris Diaw with the Magic Johnson type look away. The time I tell you what Golden State's trying to do, it's a good move. And a lot of teams are doing it. They're attacking Steve Nash. Whoever Steve is guarding at the guard position, they're just basically trying to take him down in the post and create some things. And, you know, the Suns have to be ready defensively because you don't want, one, Steve to wear down having the guard guys down there, and two, you don't want them in foul trouble.
Up early and in a hurry, McDonald's is open at 5 a.m. or earlier with all your favorite breakfast choices. I'm loving it at participating McDonald's. Getting back to Steve Nash, spoke with him yesterday after practice. You know, he even admitted he has been playing up to his standards here early in the season and takes full responsibility for the Suns' 2-3 record, saying, if I would play my game and play the way I did last year in the MVP campaign, they'd be 4-1, 5-0 quite possibly.
Yeah, but Steve also understands that his two-man game partner's not here. And, you know, I know people gonna get tired of us bringing it up, but you know what, this offense was predicated around that two-man game, especially after the All-Star break when it really took a good rhythm. And, you know, Steve right now, he's being pressured. He's being pressured offensively, and he's being made to play defense more, I think, than he did last year.
They go for the lob pass on the inbounds play, but it was tipped away. The intended target, of course, Sean Marion. Derek Fisher, the southpaw, lines it up, can't knock it down. Kurt Thomas clears it now to Nash. Suns go back to their more traditional lineup with Thomas at the post. Coming up shy is James Jones. Here come the Warriors. Full throttle. Fisher with the finish. And it's down to a 13-point advantage. Suns turn it over on the inbounds. But getting it back, James Jones saves it to Nash. Suns push it up at every opportunity. Marion looking for his first three of the season. Can't get it.
Well, the rhythm now is in Golden State's favor, and the Suns have to find a way to get rid of it. I mean, both teams now turn the basketball over, which is a sign of tiredness.
Suns came in third in the NBA in fewest turnovers per game. But it has been a turnover frenzy here in the second quarter, and we have a timeout with 5:11 to go here in the second quarter. Mike D'Antoni looking for win number 100 in his NBA coaching career, and the Suns looking for their first win at home this season. Suns have cooled off here in the second quarter, shooting just 33% from the field. The Warriors 56% here in the second period. Now it's time to check the Banner Health Injury Report and an update on Amari Stoudemire, who has started light weight-bearing rehabilitation yesterday with head athletic trainer Aaron Nelson. Some leg exercises followed by the bike, level 3 on the stationary bike, and then into the Swimex for Amari Stoudemire, who is progressing well. And there is Aaron Nelson and crew working diligently with Amari. That is a very talented sports medicine crew, too, led by Aaron Nelson and the National Association of Sports Medicine, Mike and Tyler, a couple other guys who are staying on top of things with Amari during this rehab.
Look at the job they did last year. I mean, they kept the starting five for the Suns healthy basically all year. And the injury to Joe Johnson wasn't brought on by anything other than just being off balance and hurting himself.
Kurt Thomas was exterminated at the other end, and now it's Derek Fisher going deep for three. And the lead now has shrunk to 10. It was once 20 for Phoenix here in the quarter. Back comes Golden State. Suns in their half-court set, stalled, and now it's Thomas trying to bail them out from the outside, comes up short.
You know, sometimes doubt starts to creep in. I mean, the Suns again had lost when losing big leads, and now here you have Golden State running back into the basketball game. The Suns can't worry about it. The team last year for the Phoenix Suns would just sneeze at it and keep going, and that's what this group has to continue to try and do.
And a timeout by Mike D'Antoni, and he is very upset, to say the least, as he has watched Golden State go on a 17-4 run and pull to within 7 after the Suns led by 20. Golden State pulling to within 7 here in the second quarter, and under new head coach Paul Westhead, the Mercury is poised to make a playoff run, and we want you to be a part of the action. Ticket packages are available for every schedule and budget. Call 602-252-WNBA for more information or log on to phoenixmercury.com. Eddie, take us through the last sequence as the Suns offense started to get a little stagnant.
Well, and Kurt Thomas had good opportunities down low, just couldn't get it done. And Golden State, again, a very powerful basketball team on runs, and they have shown it all year long. They will go on 15-2 runs, 14-1-0 runs, and get themselves back into the game, and they're here right now.
And then the Suns turn it over. You said it. Suns are up by 20, and you said, Suns, don't get too full of yourselves. Don't get overconfident. And back come the Warriors. Richardson, who missed his first 5 shots, has hit his last 2. They swing it around the perimeter and find Fisher. A high-arching 3, boarded by Diao.
Well, he missed it, but I don't like that because the guy came in shooting 58% from behind the arc. He is the one guy you don't want shooting 3-pointers. Wide open.
Missed the playoffs for the first time last season. After his years with the Lakers, 8 straight playoff appearances by Derek Fisher.
I don't feel sorry for him.
Then last season, Golden State.
Talk about something else. I think I feel sorry for any guy that's won that many titles. Please, lose some.
Taste the other side.
Yeah, you're right.
And to the line goes Raja Bell for the Suns, and he sticks the first one. Suns have been to the line now 5 times, 14 trips to the stripe for Golden State. The Warriors 10 of 14, the Suns 3 of 5 free throw shooting. That is Bell's first point since his dozen in the opening period, and he goes 1 of 2 at the line. Troy Murphy now has 8 rebounds here in the first half. The Suns' first point in 3 minutes of action. The Warriors have gone on this lengthy run. Nearing the 3-minute mark, offensive foul. And it was seduced by Raja Bell.
And if you look at any player on the floor for the Warriors who you would like to have the basketball having to create with the shot clock going down, is Calvert Chaney. Not comfortable at all in that situation. He loves to catch and shoot.
And that is Raja Bell. You could call him the sheriff because he puts the handcuffs on many of the top offensive performers in the league. Nash with the left hand. A thing of beauty by Steve Nash, and the Suns back to a double-digit lead out of that timeout.
Steve Nash did something real slick. Michael Jordan used to do it all the time, and the defender would have his hand extended. Steve just stuck his hand out and grabbed the elbow, pushed him forward, took him to the basket.
In and out by Troy Murphy. Cleared by Kurt Thomas. Diao, hesitation move. And now it's Nash. Finds Diao off the window. Pops out. Another chance to finish in the lane for Boris Diao. Coming off the bench here tonight. 1 of 5 from the field. Does have 5 boards for Phoenix. Made his first start against the Detroit Pistons. And on the fade, Jason Richardson cuts the lead to 8. Diao saves it from going out of bounds, and now another floater by Bell. Doesn't catch the iron. There's Kurt Thomas cleaning up inside by the Sun Center.
I'm sure Raja Bell will tell you that was a pass.
He had a floater earlier in this one. And now Raja, that was his first miss from the field as Calvert Chaney right on target.
Yeah, I don't mind doubling Richardson, but I do mind doubling off Calvert Chaney. I mean, you just can't do it.
Nash spoon-feeding Kurt Thomas, still not able to find the stroke. He was hitting everything here in September when the Suns got together for informal workouts. And then it just seemed like he lost his shot come training camp and the preseason and into the early parts of this season. Another fade, Jay, by Jason Richardson. Nash poked away from behind by Fisher. Barbosa smothered there in the corner, and now it's Nash. Back out Raja Bell, open look for 3. That was actually a 2-pointer again. Toes were on the line.
I think I got it figured out. You know, Golden State's used to playing an hour later. It was too early for them because they have awakened.
You think maybe they would
West Coast time.
Yeah, that they would show some effects from their game last night against the New York Knicks. And again, not getting in here to Phoenix until 2 o'clock in the morning. Time now for an Inhale Life 20-second breather brought to you by the Arizona Department of Health Services, who reminds you to inhale life and be tobacco-free. For information on how to quit smoking, call 800-556-6222 or visit ashline.org.
You know, sometimes we get caught watching the player put the ball in the basket. What does he do before that? Look at the extension of Calvin's hand. Look at Steve Nash. Just a little grab of the elbow that makes him open up. He gets a rhythm on him and he gets to the bucket. That is an excellent offensive player there, and young players watch it and learn.
And should have been a foul, though, on Calvin Chaney.
Calvin, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, on Chaney. And the outstretched arms impeding the progress. But it has been Jason Richardson helping to bring Golden State back into this game. And Jay Rich now has it on the baseline. He's also $20,000 lighter in the pocket after he was fined by the NBA. Air ball by Dunleavy. Both Richardson and his head coach Mike Montgomery fined for verbally abusing the referees and failing to leave the court in a timely fashion after a heartbreaking loss in Chicago. Nash breaking free, takes it to the cup.
Excellent cut by Steve Nash. Caught the Warriors by surprise that time. No one was even there.
Richardson and his head coach Mike Montgomery, they were hot. After that loss to Chicago, Richardson had a last-second attempt. They felt he was fouled, but did not get the call. And it's Derek Fisher coming in off the Golden State bench. And it's been the Warriors bench that has been so productive here in the first half, outscoring the Suns bench 24-9. 24 bench points already by Golden State.
Suns want to make sure they get the closest shot as they can to the end of the bucket.
In the corner, Raja Bell would have been a two-pointer. Still plenty of time for Golden State to get the final shot of the half. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Richardson to beat the buzzer. Too strong. And we have hit halftime here at the America West Arena. A tale of 2 quarters. The Suns came streaking out to begin this game, led by as many as 20, and now they head to the locker room up by 6 on the Golden State Warriors. Raja Bell leading the way for Phoenix. He has 13. Sean Marion has a dozen. Standing by at the Bud Light Paseo here in downtown Phoenix, Kevin Ray and Tom Chambers. It's the halftime report coming up next here on UPN 45. Tom Leander, Eddie Johnson back with you here from the America West Arena. Halftime between the Suns and Warriors. Phoenix leading 53-47 at the break. And Eddie, the Suns were looking golden. They were leading 44-24. They're up by 20 points with 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go until halftime. And you said, don't get too full of yourselves. And all of a sudden, Golden State finishes the half on a 23-9 run.
Well, they just woke up, basically. They're used to playing their games maybe an hour later, and their bodies started to wake up, and they got in a great rhythm. Their bench came in, did an excellent job. But I tell you what, the Suns basically stopped making shots, Tom. They made 15 out of their first 25 shots to start the game. And after that, only 8 of their last 26. They have to find some better consistency offensively.
Time now for a check of tonight's Gila River Casino's winners board. Gila River Casinos, where the winners play. And we'll begin with Golden State. Jason Richardson, after missing his first 5 shots, came alive with 8 points in the second quarter. Baron Davis, Derek Fisher, strong performances in the first half. Fisher, most notably, off that bench for Golden State. The Suns with 2 players in double figures, Raja and Sean, and then Barbosa making his first start of the season, had 9.
Suns have to find that rhythm they had to start the basketball game.
Raja Bell to begin the second half, straight but strong, tipping inside, active on the offensive glass. Was Kurt Thomas, but away from the heat comes Baron Davis. Baron had a very intense regimen during the offseason as Petrus is hammered inside. Baron Davis, in preparing for his first full season for the Golden State Warriors, worked out on a track in Los Angeles. And he also spent some time with Chris Mullen, the director of basketball operations with the Golden State Warriors, playing some hoops with him during the offseason. And you know who else he trained with, Eddie Johnson? Baron Davis trained with Barry Bonds. A couple of Bay Area athletes, says he has great respect for Barry Bonds.
Why not? I mean, the greatest baseball player to ever play. And so why not train with him just for the mental aspect of how to get yourself at the next level. But Baron Davis is a guy that has to work out every year, because if he doesn't, he'll come back 240. I mean, he just has that type of body on him, and injuries is going to be his friend, I think, for most of his career, because he has to push his body more so than anyone at the weight he has to carry, and that's why he has to stay in shape.
Yeah, he's had all sorts of back problems in his days with the Hornets, and he also missed a game earlier this year with a hamstring injury. Barbosa right down the lane from Steve Nash.
You know, I think the Suns have to find the hot hand and stay with it. You know, because of the impact of Amari not giving you the paint points, and the Suns did well in the paint in the first half, had 28. Find the hot hand, stay with it, and make them adjust.
Dunleavy, head fake, pull up, and it rims out for Mike Dunleavy, who has started 0 of 4. On the run out, oh, Barbosa slapped away by Richardson, but a foul as Barbosa falls in a heap himself amongst the cameramen underneath the hoop.
Leandro coming off of a screen. If a guy chases you, you curl. That will get you open. That's an easy play there. And then running the floor, Leandro speed showing again, but Leandro, the left hand, would get you an and one. You got to use that left.
Has led the Suns in scoring their last 2 games, both off the bench for Leandro, and he earned the starting berth here tonight. First back-to-back 20-point games in his NBA career. Of course, you remember his first start was after the Suns dealt Stephon Marbury and Penny Hardaway to New York, and Barbosa received the start against the Chicago Bulls and poured in 27 points.
He's in a rhythm right now, and he is a scorer. That's what he is, and his rhythm can propel him to a great 5, 6, 7 games in a row. So it's important for the Suns to continue to give him the good rhythm and make sure he gets the basketball. He
has been unleashed. Now 13 points so far for Barbosa. Troy Murphy keeping it alive, but throws into the hands of Sean Marion. Scoops it up at midcourt. Waits for reinforcements. Bell looking to attack. Barbosa had Kurt Thomas inside. Goes for the finger roll. Thomas with the cleanup.
Well, again, Leandro, the good move, but use the left hand, young fella. That will get the ball into the rim. He's using his right. The defender is coming right at him. Makes it an easy block shot.
Kurt Thomas now with 7 rebounds for Phoenix. Baron Davis off the front iron, way short on that attempt. Suns on the push. Barbosa back to Nash, and now it's Raja. Lines up a 3, can't knock it down. And Kurt Thomas, another offensive rebound. Baron Davis is livid at his teammates. Not happy with all the offensive boards by Kurt Thomas, and Raja misfires again.
Well, Raja thinking, you know, his first 3 shots of the game, he just went up and shot it. Now a little hesitation there, and not as fluid, and the ball's just coming short.
The direct opposite of Jason Richardson. It was Raja who hit his first 5. Richardson missed his first 5, and then Richardson caught fire in that second quarter. Nash behind the back. No look to Kurt Thomas. Tries the hook shot. Kurt again having to keep his head up. Last season playing with Stephon Marbury, a more shoot-first type point guard.
What are you saying?
Still getting accustomed to the pass-happy Steve Nash.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that Steph didn't give him a whole lot of love on those pick and rolls.
Barron gets bailed out here. You know, he made a good move, no doubt about it. But again, he didn't use the left hand either. And they're saying that Kurt Thomas slapped him on the arm.
Baron Davis in double figures with 10 points. Has 6 rebounds, but only 1 assist. And that one just does trickle in for Baron Davis. 26 years of age. And since he joined this Golden State team, the Warriors have gone 22 and 11, triggering the rebound effect for this franchise that has been in a drought. 11 years without making the playoffs.
All it takes is a facilitator. As we saw with Steve Nash last year, Baron Davis has been more than that for Golden State.
Oh, no call. Kurt Thomas trying to power inside, and now it's Marion with the finish.
Suns have missed about 6 or 7 layups in this basketball game, and that can't continue to happen. Anytime these two teams play one another, it's going to be a game of runs. So you have to make sure you get the little chippies.
Last time Golden State was in the playoffs, you have to go back to 1994, and that was a carry. That was a blatant carry by Baron Davis. But 1994, the last time the Warriors were in the postseason, and at that time, no, Mike Montgomery wasn't their coach. It was Don Nelson. And they have been through a bevy of coaches since then.
They will have a chance this year, no doubt about it. They have that type of team.
Nash ambush, so he gives it off to Barbosa. Back iron, and the rebound to Jason Richardson. +4 in the rebounding category so far for Golden State. Petrus can't finish. Inside trying to force it in on Kurt Thomas, who is standing stationary with his hands in the air, but he's busted for the personal.
They have gone small, and small has worked for them. And Derek Fisher's going to come back in as well, and they're going to get a little smaller on the court. But there's the hustle right there on the offensive glass for Golden State. And, you know, Tom, we've seen it time and time again with this team. No matter who they have on the floor, they always give the Suns problems on the defensive glass.
So to the line goes Mikael Petrus, and talking to him before this game about Boris Diaw, who is set to check in for Mike D'Antoni and does so for Kurt Thomas. Petrus said, you know, really what he's looking forward to, and talking to Boris and visiting with him here tonight, is the fact that both these players have their eyes set on the playoffs. Neither one has been to the postseason. Of course, Petrus with Golden State and Boris Diaw his first 2 years with Atlanta. So they're very excited at that opportunity after playing high-level basketball in Europe, some of the toughest competition there in the Euro Championships.
Well, I think they understand that it's very difficult. It's a grind. And even though it's 8 spots to get into the playoffs, it's still very difficult to even get the 8th seed, and they are determined this year to make a run at it.
61-54, Phoenix by 7, under 8 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. With our director Dan Siegman, our producer Bob Adlock. Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday night from downtown Phoenix. And Marion tried to bank it in from the corner and still looking for his first three-pointer of the season.
You're being kind.
I'm saying he calls bank. Marion going for the swipe and comes away with the personal foul. And I believe now that's 14 fouls on Phoenix with 7:33 to go. Suns in jeopardy of reaching the penalty situation here early.
And the Golden State Warriors are very small. I mean, Troy Murphy's out there, and they basically have 4 2 guards on the floor.
Turnover, Golden State. The Suns countering with their small ball lineup with Boris Diaw running the 5, with Marion, Rajabel, Steve Nash, and Leandro Barbosa. 11 turnovers now on Golden State. The Suns have given it up just 5 times here tonight. Steve Nash taking the handoff from Boris Diaw and going right to the rim.
And see the difference with the left hand. If he used the right hand, Baron Davis knocks it into the stand.
10 points, 8 assists so far for Nash. Baron Davis and Golden State working around to Richardson. Wide left and short. Here come the Suns, a 4-on-3. Nash weaves his way in, gets it to Diaw. Oh, look at the nifty ball handling there by Boris, and Rajabel. Corner 3 pocket for Raja in the zone with AutoZone. Another $100 to Phoenix Suns Charities. Suns' 5th three-pointer made in 14 attempts.
Suns doing an excellent job of just holding Golden State off. They haven't lost their confidence at all. And now defense is going to be the answer for the Phoenix Suns. They have to continue to get some stops here to build that lead right back up.
Led by as many as 20 in the first half. They're up a dozen. That was a tough fire there by Baron Davis. Not a high percentage shot. Diaw laying it up for Marion. The human pogo stick goes up once, goes up twice, and now we'll head to the line.
Boris Diaw and Sean Marion, they have a connection. I mean, 4 or 5 times this year where Boris has really just gotten it up there in rhythm to Sean to finish. That time, Sean's timing was a little bit off, but again, as you stated, no one in the league jumps as quickly the second time than Sean Marion.
At the stripe, nets the first one. Talked about the fact that still looking for that first three-pointer of the season. Came in 0 for 8 from deep. And last year, Sean hit 114 three-pointers.
But fine, because to me, that's not his game. You know, Sean's game is in the painted area, 15, 20 feet. If he stays within that area, he's going to still have the same average as he did last year, regardless of the three-point shot.
And here's another player bypassing three-pointers here early in the season. Look at Kobe Bryant. He hardly shoots any three-pointers and has been leading the NBA in scoring. Mikael Petrus from three-point range. And now Golden State nets their 4th three-pointer here tonight. And they pull back to within 9. Barbosa trying to work off a Diaw screen, and now Boris backs down, fires past Murphy, an air ball by Boris Diaw. Alley-oop feed, Baron Davis to Mikal Petrus, and it was a beauty.
He's got a sleeve on his knee, and he's still jumping out the gym. Take that sleeve off.
23-year-old Mikal Petrus starting to blossom for Golden State, much the same way Boris Diaw has for Phoenix here in the early going. And that is a train wreck in the lane. Diaw hits the floor along with Derek Fisher. And we have a timeout. 5:22 to go, and a bloodied Boris Diaw will need some medical attention during this upcoming timeout. Barron lays it up. Mikal gives it a home. Suns leading here in the third quarter, 68-59. Don't miss this year's Celebrity Waiters event at Fox Sports Grill, Thursday, November 17th at 6 p.m. Call 602-452-5515 for more information. Boris Diaw momentarily went into the tunnel toward the Suns locker room, bleeding from that corner of his eye. He came out on the floor, and now we'll head back to the locker room again. Here is the collision between Diaw and Derek Fisher, who caught him with that left elbow.
That hurt. That hurts.
So Diaw off to the Suns locker room. Fisher and one-time Sun Mario Elie discussing things in front of the Golden State bench. Mario Elie considered one of the up-and-coming assistants in the NBA. Saw a GM survey which had him in the top 5 of best assistant coaches in the league. How about that?
Really?
Yeah. One season here with the Suns, and that was one of those uncomfortable situations because he is one of those antagonists when you talk about NBA players. And after hitting the 3 for the Houston Rockets and kissing the fingers right in the face of the Suns during the playoffs and then becoming a member of this team, and it was kind of a short stay for Mario.
I played with Mario for 3 years in Houston, and I tell you, you're talking about a guy that's emotional.
I remember it was an emotional departure after he left the Suns after a frustrating playoff performance. And now running the wheel, the Golden State Warriors into the hands of Petrus, draws contact from Marion on the pass-off, but the Suns are in the penalty situation, and Petrus will head to the free throw stripe to shoot 2. So his French national team teammate, Boris Diaw, in the locker room, and it's Petrus to the line. Check out the Arizona Sports Report on FSN Arizona nightly at 9:30 p.m. for interviews, game previews, highlights, and player profiles. The ASR gets you up close and personal with the Suns nightly at 9:30, only on FSN Arizona.
Petrus, playing about, 20 minutes a game. And the reason he's able to get consistency, unlike last year, is he's shooting the ball well. He comes into the game shooting over 50% from the field. And so Mike Montgomery is very at ease with him because defensively he's going to create some problems, and now he's knocking down shots, and that's going to get him a lot of minutes. And if Dunleavy doesn't pick it up, he's going to start to get even more.
Asking Boris Diaw about the relationship between himself and Mikal Petrus. So they're close friends, but actually even closer with their other teammate, Tony Parker, as an offensive foul has been whistled against Leandro Barbosa. And now that is 4 fouls on Barbosa.
This is a danger zone right now for the Suns because they've become a little stagnant. The Warriors are still hanging around. It's not like they're on fire, but the Suns have cooled off a little bit. And you look up at the scoreboard, and the Warriors only down 8 points with 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And it's almost like the fans sitting in their seats wondering which team will go on the next run. They'll throw a double team at Baron Davis, and Marion got a piece of that pass, and now on the run out, here comes Marion. Takes it home off the Nash assist.
How many people can do something defensively, shake the ball loose, and then beat everyone down the floor? That's the beauty of Shawn Marion.
Ultra fast Shawn Marion taking advantage of the 12th Golden State turnover and turning it into 2 for the Suns, and another double-digit lead. A scrambling Suns defense looking at every opportunity to double team. A deep 3 by Baron Davis, rebounded by James Jones. Nash now covered by Petrus. Goes behind the back, fades. Oh, a thing of beauty by Steve Nash.
Well, got him going backwards defensively, and then the fadeaway takes away the block shot opportunity. Steve Nash very good at that.
That is almost indefensible as he fades away from his defender, and an offensive foul against Golden State. Rajabel taking the hit for Phoenix. Let's go back to that Steve Nash move, behind the back and then on the fade.
Well, you know, a little physical force step back move, because what he did, he got his off arm up, he didn't extend it, but just enough to push Petrus backwards a little bit, then give him the rhythm to go up and knock the shot down.
Jason Richardson, like Leandro Barbosa, has now picked up his 4th personal foul, and he heads to the Warriors bench. Out there now is Monte Ellis, drafted straight out of high school, and he watched as Leandro Barbosa blew right past him.
Monte Ellis looks like he's still a freshman in high school.
Just finished his senior year, exterminated by Sean Marion. Here comes Rajabel. He'll hand it off to Sean. Oh, going for the payoff and the tip. Marion could not finish.
He almost tipped that basketball in.
Baron Davis, and he lays it in off the window. Tough opportunity there for the Suns to let slip away the block, the fast break, but it wound up 2 for Golden State. Nash throws it off the glass, and back come the Warriors. 2:40 to go here in the 3rd. Davis into the lane. Ellis, and hit slapped away, this time by James Jones. Nash losing it on the dribble, and Baron Davis thought about jacking up a 3. Wild and woolly here in the final stages of the 3rd. Baron Davis the direct hit.
Can't back off. Just can't back off of the guy. I mean, the guy doesn't care.
Rajabel, and a foul called on Golden State as Bell made a spinning move right in front of the Golden State bench, and Mike Montgomery not happy with that whistle. And a timeout here, 2:14 to go. Suns defense starting to pick up. Suns by 10 here in the 3rd. It's time now for tonight's APS power matchup. APS, the power to make it happen. And it's the Bucks taking on Ron Artest and the Indiana Pacers, 84-75. That game's still going on right now. And Ron Artest so far with 20. Michael Redd for the surprising Milwaukee Bucks. And when you talk about the highest scoring teams in the NBA, Eddie, Suns number 1, 110 points a game. Checking in at number 2, 108 points for the Milwaukee Bucks. They are lighting it up, and no other team is even close to those top 2.
No. The Milwaukee Bucks, I tell you what, I've watched them play a couple of times, and I think they have every position covered on that basketball team, and the addition of Jamal McClure really put them over the top, and I expect them to definitely be a top 5 playoff team over in the East. I think they're that good. Andrew Bogut has really played well for them. They have just got the job done. And then TJ Ford, a guy that set out most of last year with an injury, got player of the week the first week of the season. I mean, he is legitimate.
Terry Stotts taking over as their new head coach. At the line now, Rajabel. Suns' next game will be back here at home on Wednesday against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies in action tonight in Atlanta against Joe Johnson and the Hawks. And the Grizzlies win it 85-84, so the Hawks are still winless. Enough said. Baron Davis going deep for 3. Down it goes for Baron Davis, who now has 19 points. Cuts the Suns' lead to 9.
They're not going away. And the Suns have to understand that, in knowing they've lost 3 games in a row here at home, that teams aren't going to go away. The scouting report is out there. Teams know coming in that the Suns have had a tough time holding on to leads. And I guarantee you, Mike Montgomery every time out is saying, guys, we just got to get it close. And the Suns have to make sure that they stay in good rhythm.
Want to close this 3rd quarter with a flurry. Eddie House out there now for Phoenix. 3 on the shot clock for Barbosa. Double team. Didn't look at the shot clock, and it blows up on Phoenix. Turnover Suns.
Steve Nash out of the basketball game. Someone has to step forward. Now, this group has been pretty good. I mean, when Steve has gone to the bench here at home, you can't blame it on that. because this group has been pretty good when Steve has sat down.
Baron Davis, checked there by Raja Bell. Step back three-point attempt, and the rebound is Sean Marion. Barbosa leading the charge. Raja Bell, good look, good shot along the baseline.
He's having a huge game, and let's hope that he continues to look at the rim. Sometimes shies away from still, trying to be aggressive, but Raja right now has had the hot hand from the start.
12 points in the opening quarter. Raja now has 20. Poor pass by the kid out of high school, Monte Ellis. Winds up as a turnover. James Jones wants to light up a three. Absolutely! In the zone with AutoZone. $100 to Phoenix Suns Charities after the big shot by the new JJ. 35 seconds and counting here in the third. Eddie House, hand in the face for Baron Davis, who lets it fly.
This guy has no conscience.
Supreme confidence for Baron Davis, who checking in now has 22. 81-70. Inside of 10 on the shot clock for James Jones. Tipping Barbosa above the rim. And now Golden State can go for the final shot inside of 5 seconds.
Here's a three.
Baron Davis to end the quarter. Would not drop. And we head to the fourth and final period here from the America West Arena with the Suns leading Golden State by 11. Raja Bell leading the way for Phoenix. He has 20. Baron Davis heating up. He has 22 for Golden State. And you are watching Phoenix Suns basketball on UPN 45.
Welcome back to America West Arena. The Suns lead 81-70. Let's check tonight's Jack in the Box inside the box score. Tom Leander.
Shall we?
Well, points in the paint. Suns have been dominant. Probably could be more dominant. They've missed a number of layups inside. The Golden State bench has been huge, and that's why they got back in the basketball game. They've outscored the Suns 33-12. Raja Bell has been smoking all game long. I think it's important they continue to get him the basketball.
Boris Diaw has returned for Phoenix with 2 stitches above that left eye after taking the elbow from Derek Fisher. Eddie, you said back here at the America West Arena, there's a press conference on Monday. We're not going to be able to say that much longer. There will be a name change here in downtown Phoenix. No longer the America West Arena come January. Petrus missing the lane to begin the fourth quarter. You know, there's a merger happening between America West Airlines and U.S. Airways.
Oh, I thought they were going to change it to Eddie Johnson Arena.
I knew that was coming. The EJ Center. Eddie's Court. So we will wait and find out on Monday when they have the press conference as to what the new name will be here for the America West Arena. I'm just hoping it's not U.S. Airways Arena. U.S. Airways Arena. You know what? Just don't do it for our sake. I'd butcher that one. Inside Petrus, somehow amidst the skyscrapers.
I'm not amazed that he got it. I'm amazed that he was able to get it up and in. But you know what? He looked at the floor, he knew where he was, and that's another key for young players. The markings on the floor can tell you where you are adjacent to the rim.
Eddie House, a little bump, a shot. Ball's loose inside, taken away there by Jason Richardson.
First few minutes, I'm sorry, Tom, but the first few minutes are important here. Suns cannot allow Golden State to make that run. I mean, we've seen this numerous times now in the 3 losses here, where at the start of the fourth quarter, teams start to make a push. The Suns need to take advantage of it and add on to the lead to just relieve themselves of some stress, and us as well.
You are right. And about 18,000 people here in the arena as well. And high blood pressure down the stretch of every home game here this season. That was just such a tough one, too, against Detroit. The Suns leading by 2 points with a minute 50 to go, and then Detroit closes out with the last 9 points.
But, you know, I can take that loss, but it was hard to swallow the Dallas loss. I mean, because the Suns basically had control of that game. You're losing to a champion. You're losing to 5 guys that played together, and they got it done down the stretch, and the Suns didn't. yes, the Suns should have won the game, but you can understand how that could have developed. And when Richard Hamilton gets his shots down, Rasheed's knocking down threes, they've done it before.
And a 1-point loss here at home to the Sacramento Kings. Brian Grant with the last-second attempt. That was off the mark. Marion got a piece of that one, but then they throw it right back into the hands of Miles. Now running the point for Golden State, finds a wide-open Calvert Chaney. Marion still cherry-picking, takes it home.
That was a huge mistake on Golden State's part, and I'm surprised that their bench was not screaming. Sean never really crossed half court. They should have had a player back.
From the corner, it's Petrus trying to light up a three. Rebounded there by Leandro Barbosa. Barbosa and Eddie House now in the backcourt for Phoenix. Here to begin the fourth quarter. Warriors starting out 1 of 7 shooting here in the period. That was a rock thrown up there by James Jones.
But that was a tough shot. I mean, James can get better looks than that. You know, he doesn't need to have to go one-on-one. He can just come off screens and just spot up.
This is not a pretty pop-a shot competition, so after the perimeter Jays, Derek Fisher takes matters into his own hands and drives it right to the hoop.
Well, Derek Fisher is like a linebacker out there. I mean, he gets ahead of steam going. It's very difficult to stop him.
Barbosa draws contact from Chaney. You know, I'm real disappointed, too, after the introduction of Derek Fisher as one of the better floppers. I haven't seen one here tonight, so I apologize, Derek.
He's getting smart.
Although we still have plenty of time. 9:15 to go, and players are going to be clamoring for calls here down the stretch. Come explore the new Verizon Wireless Jungle on the second level of the America West Arena at all Suns home games. Tons of fun for kids and adults alike. Right, Eddie? Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. We had a little bit of fun in the Verizon Wireless Jungle. In case you missed our open to the show, very nice alley-oop feed from Eddie Johnson, his 3rd career assist. Ball slapped out of bounds, 6 on the shot clock for Phoenix.
No, I had more assists than that, Tom.
I was waiting for your rebuttal.
Why pass it? Why pass it to a guy?
Especially to a little washed-up point guard underneath the basket. Boris Diaw earning a ticket to the line. Hacked there by Troy Murphy. 9:04 to go here in the fourth. From here, the Warriors head back home. A pair of games, first against the Chicago Bulls in Oakland on Monday, and then they will host the Milwaukee Bucks Wednesday. The Suns, you know, we talked about the fact that their next game, not until Wednesday against the Memphis Grizzlies, and had a number of days off here in the last week or so. This is just their 2nd game in 10 days. Oh,
you know.
Oh, geez.
Look at
that. What happened? Oh, that must have been take 1.
No, that's right. We did take 2 because you had no elevation and messed up my first assist.
I think
you thought you were going to get away with that? You knew we were going to show it.
I was just shocked that the ball came my way.
The timing was off.
It was a sense of shock on the face of Eddie Johnson there. Basically because he's like, do we have to do the whole stand-up over again? For goodness sake.
That's right.
They don't pay me enough to work with Leander. 84-74 here in the fourth quarter. Are the Suns headed for another nail-biter, or can they put away this Warriors team? With the Suns up by 10, it's this day in the NBA, presented by Paddock Pools, Patios, and Spas. Experience the magic of Christmas now at all Paddock stores, where all your holiday needs. November 12th, 1994, the NBA All-Star balloting extended beyond the United States for the first time, as ballots were made available to fans in Mexico, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia. That's this day in NBA history, brought to you by Paddock Pools. And now, of course, ballots handed out in China. Yao Ming will forever be a starting center in NBA All-Star games.
And any other Chinese player that gets on the ballot.
That's why Shaq wanted to go to Miami. He's never going to start another All-Star game. Jason Richardson came up short, but a fresh 24 for Golden State. Running the show, the rookie out of Kansas, Aaron Miles. Lob pass, Murphy past a double team and still scores.
I'm surprised they haven't gone to that all game long. I mean, no one has really established the post game, but Murphy does have that ability.
Murphy came in averaging 17 points per game, has 8 so far here tonight. Inside of 10 on the shot clock. There's the switch, and this is where the Suns get bogged down. Nash will fire from the outside, connect. But defenses are starting to do that. They will switch on Nash, and he wants to take advantage of it, but the other 4 players stand around. James Jones in a tussle with Petrus, and it's James Jones hit with a personal, and it's the 3rd team foul on Phoenix.
And Nash is going to kill Murphy if they continue to switch that one. They have to find a way to get over it.
Murphy on the move with the left hand past Marion. And then it's Sean Marion consuming the rebound. It's knocked out of bounds. Excellent defense and then position for the defensive board by Marion.
Well, and Sean another double-double.
Oh. Chop, chop inside. We'll send Boris out of the line. You're right, 14 rebounds for Sean.
I don't know what to say. I mean, Sean Marion just doesn't get his due. And the guy's a double-double machine. He continually gets double-double. No matter what position you play him at, no matter who he guards, no matter what he has to do. And that's why early on when you said he took the day off because he thought it was Veterans Day for a player. You know what? The guy's getting that many double-doubles, he can take off as much as he wants.
6 games this season, 6 double-doubles for Sean Marion.
I think he and Tim Duncan are only 2 players so far that have done it. Good company.
That's very good company. More importantly for Phoenix, right now they are up by 11 after Diaw sank the 2 free throws. Barbosa to return for Phoenix at the next break. Ducking inside was Richardson. It was partially deflected by Marion, and now Richardson again with a finger roll. A little extra spin on that one.
They hang around, and the Suns have to be careful here. You know another run is in them. You can't allow them to get those easy opportunities. One and done should be what the Suns are thinking about. That means 5 guys in the paint fighting for a rebound. Richardson,
who's averaging 22 points, now has 11. 5 on the clock for Diaw. Oh, the long strides of 3D Boris Diaw. He was about 23 feet away from the hoop and took about 2 giant steps to make his way to the cup. And then a delay of game warning on Diaw, who grabbed the ball coming out of the net, and it's the 2nd against the Suns, so that results in an official free throw attempt.
It's all instinct here. And, he lays it up. You got to let it go. But, he really didn't do anything drastic. I mean, he dropped the ball on the floor.
It's not like Golden State's been pulling it out of the net and running it up the floor, against Detroit. There were 3 calls against the Pistons in transition where their players were tugging on a Suns player just trying to run back down the other end of the court. Didn't even have the basketball. About the only way you can slow down this Phoenix Suns team. 6:40 to go in the 4th. Fisher one-on-one against Nash. Stayed glued to him, but still, Fisher drains it.
He gets great separation because of his width. I mean, again, a very powerful guard. Once he turns, you have no choice but to back up.
40 bench points now for the Golden State Warriors after that deuce by Fisher. Rajabel, not close for 3.
Well, again, I think some hesitation on Raj's part, and he can't hesitate. He just has to go up and shoot the basketball.
Fisher now swings it over to Jason Richardson, trying to operate on Rajabel. Switched over by Marion, now going for the steal, Barbosa. Baron Davis looks up at the clock. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Baron Davis pulls up, good look, too strong. Offensive rebound, though, momentarily by Davis, but Boris Diaw comes away with it. And now the Suns slow it up once again. D'Antoni was saying a week ago he wants the Suns to keep pushing until there's about 2 minutes left in the game. Suns slowing it down here in the 4th quarter. Boris Diaw stepped out of bounds. Turnover, Phoenix. Suns have lost their spark here in the fourth quarter, but they are still hanging on to an 8-point advantage, looking to improve their record to 3-3 on the season. With the Suns leading by 8, our captain has asked you to take your seats. There is turbulence ahead. Tonight's High Flyers presented by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Captain Eddie Johnson with his first broadcast of the season. Take it away.
Troy Murphy gets it knocked down, but look at this guy right here. He can rise with the best of them. And then here's Boris Diaw, a no-look to Sean Marion, and he elevates high and hangs around the rim. And then another alley-oop to Michael Petras. Goes high, and Baron Davis meets Sean Marion. I'm sure he knows him.
Very tasty offerings. They tend to be beefier when Amari Stoudemire's out on the floor. Still, plenty of high-flying action, and the Suns looking for their first home win. If they can finish off this Golden State team, put away an opponent in the final minutes. Troy Murphy follows his own miss.
Like I said, I'm surprised they hadn't gone to it because the Suns have gone small. Kurt Thomas has not been on the floor, and yet Troy Murphy is not getting post-up.
Steve Nash, too strong. Rebound to Richardson. The lead is down to 6.
They're going to go right back to Troy Murphy, you have to believe.
Suns came out blazing with 35 points in the first quarter, led by as many as 20 points early in the second. Boris Diaw jerks it away, takes it up the floor himself to Barbosa with confidence.
Tell you what, any other coach would go crazy on that shot. That was Larry Brown. He'd take you out even though you made it.
Leandro making the start, 17 points now for Barbosa. I have to say, it's so much more enjoyable too watching a Pistons team coached by Flip Saunders and really taking the reins and opening things up with a very talented and athletic Pistons squad. Golden State gives it back to Phoenix here at the 4:14 mark.
The New York Knicks, who I forgot who their last 3 games are against on this trip, very difficult games. They could start the season 0-9.
Already they're talking about trading Stephon Marbury. Those reports in the New York Post.
Well, I think everyone knew before the season started that Stephon Marbury was not Larry Brown's type of guard. So you knew if they struggled that his name was going to come up first. But quite honestly, I think Stephon has tried, to give Larry what he wants, but he's just not that type of point guard.
The Suns point guard has been picture perfect at the free throw line this season. Steve Nash, 27 of 27 free throw shooting so far this year. That's his first visit to the line here tonight. Make that 28 straight to begin the season for Steve Nash, one of the great all-time free throw shooters in NBA history. Under 4 minutes to go.
Big possession here for Golden State.
It's Baron Davis on the blast. Draws the foul. Defended there by Barbosa, who's hit with personal foul number 5.
Now just imagine Jerome Bettis coming at you through the line. That's what Steve Nash thought right there. That's why he kind of jumped out of the way.
Baron the bus.
This dude is strong.
And what a heist, Eddie Johnson. I mean, an absolute heist as Baron misses the first free throw. But you go back to that trade. You go back to that trade at Speedy Claxton and Dale Davis.
It's not a heist. Everybody's been stealing from the Hornets. Come on, I mean, it goes all the way back to when they traded Alonzo Mourning. I mean, come on.
Not a good track record, and Alan Bristow no longer running the show there. No tears streaming from the eyes of Eddie Johnson. In the corner, it was Barbosa throwing up the 3. Boris Diaw on the prowl. Back to Leandro. Try it again. Oh, 0 for 2.
Got to the right hand, the hot hand over the last few games. Leandro had good looks.
Baron Davis and Barbosa on an island. Into the corner, whip it to Petrus. He can't connect. Murphy offensive rebound, reset to Baron Davis. He'll shoot the three this time. That won't fall. Tipping inside Jason Richardson. Suns desperately in need of a defensive rebound. It goes out of bounds. Phoenix possession. 2:59 to go, Mr. Johnson. 9-point lead. What's in your crystal ball?
Defense and more defense. Something I used to play a lot of.
Suns up 93-84 here in the fourth. Check out special offers on Southwest.com for the latest and greatest in air, car, and hotel deals. Eddie, I mentioned Golden State won the last two regular season meetings between these two teams. The last time Golden State has won 3 in a row against the Suns, Ronald Reagan was president back in 1982. I was just graduating from Brookfield. Where were you in 1982?
I was in Kansas City playing with the Kansas City Kings, taking a lot of shots.
Not much has changed over the years. 1982. Suns are trying to keep that happening here again in the year 2005. Mike Montgomery and his Warriors trying to chisel a 9-point Phoenix lead. Nash, Barbosa, Diaw, Raja, and Sean Marion, the closers for Phoenix at this point. Marion backs down on Petrus, goes glass, and it crawls in for Sean Marion.
Nice strong move by Sean Marion at that time. Get great position inside.
22 points, 14 rebounds for Marion. Petrus carries it. Turnover, Golden State. That's number 15.
You know, I talked about earlier how Golden State really had no offense they were running. All was one-on-one guys creating. And now defensively, the Suns have stepped up, and the Warriors are struggling with that way of offense. Sean Marion down low. Got the nice roll, but excellent position on the post.
Beefing up that upper body, helping with power moves on the Svelte Mikael Petrus. Suns lead is 11, and now they will start to milk the clock. Fisher checking Nash, who finds Diaw on the move, hacked. Oh, nearly bucketed one for Diaw. He'll get 2 at the line.
You know, one of the things I want, and Boris is a young player, but one of the things I want him to really concentrate on is to drive it hard. I mean, a lot of times he drives soft because he's thinking of passing it, and what happens when a guy grabs him and knocks him off balance so he can't finish. You know, when you get in the paint and you're on the dribble there, he needs to bulk up a little bit and go strong. Then he'll be able to get the ball in the bucket and then get to the free throw line. But he's a young player and he's going to learn.
And he is a stat stuffer. Has 11 rebounds in this game, 5 assists and 8 points. 4 of 6 from the line for Boris Diaw. Suns lead is up to 13. 2 minutes to go here in the fourth. Suns trying to get to 500 and secure their first home win. Not close for Richardson. Rebound number 15 for Sean Marion.
Human rebound machine. The best rebounder pound for pound that I've seen playing NBA in a long time. He leads the league in rebounding right now as a small forward. Even though he's playing power forward, I don't buy it. He's still a small forward.
No sense of desperation from the Golden State Warriors. No double teams. The Suns find Raja Bell at the end of the shot clock. And now under 1:30 to go. You would think Golden State would be trapping, trying everything to get some Phoenix Suns turnovers. Diaw into the front court.
Suns score here, it's over.
Got it to Raja. They could have had a layup inside, but now they'll let the clock wind down as the fans start to stream for the parking lot. Poked away, foul from behind on Mikael Petrus. And that will send Steve Nash to the line. Maybe the only drama left, Eddie, is see if he can remain perfect at the line this season.
Well, he might not if you keep talking about it.
No, he is mentally tougher than that. Been talking to Steve after practice yesterday, too. He's like a proud father, maybe a proud older brother as he nets the first one. Watching the play of Leandro Barbosa. He has taken Leandro under his wing since he came here to Phoenix last year. And there is nobody happier at the progress and success of Leandro Barbosa and Steve Nash.
You know, and the great thing about when you're a foreign player and you play here, You don't get caught up in the press. You know, he's not watching the news every night, watching sports. He's not reading the paper every day. So although he's had his critics, he really hasn't heard it because he does not listen to it. And I think that's helped him because his confidence is sky high.
Derek Fisher lands the three-pointer. Oh, they'll give him 2 on that one as Nash slices through the double team, keeps the dribble alive, nearing the 45-second mark here of the fourth quarter. Suns lead is 13, and it appears they will indeed secure that first home win. Nash hands it off to Sean Marion, rising up, and the board to Jason Richardson. He's done a heck of a job rebounding-wise. How about 14 rebounds for Jason Richardson? His teammate Troy Murphy has 17. And then they throw it away. Leandro, why not? 2 more.
He blew past Murphy. Murphy was like a 16-wheeler. Leandro like a Porsche. Just blew right by him.
Leandro has 1 speed. That is blazing. The fans enjoyed on a Saturday night a victory for the home team. And down go the Golden State Warriors. Suns win it 101-86. Even their record at 3-3. They led by 20 in the first half. Golden State made it close, pulled within 6 at one point, but the Suns then pull away in the fourth quarter, and we haven't been able to say that this season.
No, not at all, but you know what? They got it done in the fourth quarter. Defensively, I thought they were big, and that's why they got the victory.
We'll have our player of the game Suns report coming up next.